G'day and welcome back. It looks like the save games aren't remembering some of the shuttles. I guess that must be a bug of some sort. I've also just noticed that I didn't change the research to account for the new information research lab we've got. Of all the different types of research in the information tree, the one I most want access to is better scanners. Scanning is a planetary facility you can build, and without putting a lot of upgrades into it, it gives you a very small radius. But at the higher levels, it can cover, more than one screen. So I quite like having scan data for incoming fleets. That's really useful. So I'll change that. Otherwise, we're broke, and it's time to keep moving. Okay, the Kaka are offering technology in exchange for something. We're not really interested in doing tech trading. Just make sure there's no shuttles standing by. I think it cancelled the shuttle service, but it continued the move for the end of that turn, so I'm not quite sure why that happens, but that seems to be what's going on there. Anyway, we'll keep going. Bio Research Center, that's really good. Okay, so one of the things I haven't done so far is actually expand the trade network. That's definitely something I'm going to do now that we've got a reasonable amount of population on all the planets. I'm also going to start cancelling the shuttle services altogether, because we're really getting up there at Edinburgh. It's above peak growth, and we'll start sending just trailing off to get Mito up to scratch. 39 at Augusta, I'll need to cancel that shuttle service as well. Okay, so starting the trade network now. You might remember Mito discovered exceptional gems and the other past civilization. So once it's finished with its terraformer, I'll actually skip building the weather controller. Those two I usually build on every colony straight away, simply for the happiness and the low cost of maintenance. But we'll start work on the trade system just to unlock some extra income. It'll be a fairly substantial amount because of the reasonable population and number of colonies that I can do trade amongst, combined with the fact there's 2 trade resources there, so it should unlock a bit of income. That should be good. Augusta will want another mine at some stage, but we don't quite have the happiness to support it. That's the level 2 mine complex I should say. But yeah, we don't have the happiness, as you might recall. Edinburgh. Yeah, so I'll need to build, the way trading works is you build a landing station every planet you want the trade to go to, and at the source you need to upgrade the landing station to a more advanced level, and there's 2 tiers to that. One tier is to do exports, the other tier is to do imports. Some of the trade commodities are export oriented and some are import oriented. So past civilizations is one of each, and gems is an export oriented one. So I'll get the trade center here up to level 2 quickly. I can't remember exactly what it's called. It's like it's got a specific name, but that'll come up in due course. And other than that, I think I've just got to watch out for these transports. Mito, that's right, that one was done. Yep, I've just got to keep an eye on those transports and cancel them as they come into Earth, basically. Loaded transport arrived at Mito. Okay, that's done. So now he's going to go down to Edinburgh. And new technology, weather control, that's great. Extreme arc or comet mining. Comet mining, that's a no-brainer. That yeah, unlocks more economy again. Shuttle cancelled at Augusta. Maybe it cancelled all the shuttle services, I'm not quite sure. Strange. Anyway, on to Edinburgh. So now the main goal is to use Edinburgh as the breeding world and let Earth grow by itself. And keep an eye on production, basically. So advanced weather control, that will let me build more happiness structures. I can upgrade the weather controller at Earth, gives 1 happiness, and the upgrade gives 2. More happiness is better. It's very simple. And also we'll try and look at upgrading the tax rate once we're happy with growth. So let me just check that now. Happiness is 2, 1 for weather control. Yeah, okay, so what we'll do at Earth is we'll upgrade the... oh no, we'll wait for the asteroid mine, I think. Yeah. How are we doing on income? 700, so it's still climbing. And 1 more turn for the colony ship to arrive at Delta Octanus, that's good. Okay, so we're starting on to the landing station now. And the landing station takes 2 turns to complete. I haven't gone into this in a lot of detail. There's not much to say really, except that in this game production is fixed turns. Every unit or structure has fixed turns. There's no way to speed it up. The system richness has no effect on that. So you can synchronize the delivery of new facilities and save yourself maintenance by choosing when you start new productions. So with the landing station requires 2 turns, and the upgrade to it I'm pretty sure requires 3 turns. So I'm not going to start building landing stations at the other places until the 5 turns that are required here tick over. So I'll start building landing stations to be delivered when the upgraded facility is completed, just to save a bit more maintenance. That's another thing you can do to just save on that maintenance cost. And go back to Earth and cancel any shuttles and send them manually. I should just double right click. Okay, good, and we'll keep going. Again at Earth. So it's a populated transport, which is why I'm sending it straight to Mito. It's picked up 1 from Earth, but that's fine. Again on there. And Edinburgh has got its 1. And we're getting up to 27 at Mito anyway, so we're going to be basically at 27, 28, 29, 30, 31 with those ones alone. So now I've got spare colonists, and we're about to settle Delta Octanus, so I'm going to actually start ferrying people from Edinburgh to Delta Octanus. Even though it's a poor system, the advantage to doing this is I'll start distributing my population towards I guess the north side of the map, and I might later ferry them on further on, but this is as far as I can transport them for now. So with limited transports, I'm making use of them by shipping them to where I can, rather than their final destination. Yeah, we knew this place had the wonders, natural wonders, that's fine. So yeah, the standard deal, upgrade straight to light industry. Now you saw that cost more, 720 because it's poor. There's a penalty on construction, which is annoying. You also can't build surface mines. You can build the asteroid mines or comet mines if you have those features, but no mining at all, so they're really expensive to expand through poor systems. You know, in fact, I'm questioning whether or not I'm going to maintain this colony. For now, I will say I will, but yeah, we'll see. Anyway, it's going to be called Kerensk, and yeah, so rather than spending the money there, I'll just see if I can build this asteroids at Earth. No, 1 more turn for that. Okay, 1 transport there, that's fine. And Mito's still building. Yeah, I think we'll go, rather than even building the rather than building the asteroid mine, which will use up all our stored income, I'll save and be prepared to roll out these landing stations, which are quite cheap, but I'll need to build 3 of them, plus the upgraded facility on Mito, which means I can afford to build Kerenskup. And I will do that even in the short term, just so that I can unlock more research and whatnot. So that's that one. And yeah, I need to wait 1 turn for the exploration range to increase. So let's just go straight onto that. Transports arrived at Edinburgh. Okay. Oops. Landing station at Mito. Okay, now the upgraded facility is called a commercial spaceport, and yeah, it requires 3 turns. So put that in the queue now. Next turn I'll start the landing stations at the other 3 main colonies. Missed one of the transports too, I think. Oops. Okay. Now the exploration range is increased, and I've got the choice between going to these 2, Alpha Octanus and Epsilon Octanus. So a red dwarf, small star, low radiation output means the chance of life supporting planets are low, and a fair chance of ideal planets. So orange star is more tempting, so I'll send him there to start with. Transports at Mito. Okay, on to Edinburgh. And another one. Oops, there's 2. No. Yeah, that's another thing you can use transports for, to move around light missiles. Obviously, I'm not particularly keen on doing that. You would be interested in doing that if you're producing very cheap light mines at a place, say, like Augusta, and you're shipping them to an expensive place like Kerensk. But I've got more important uses for the few transports I've got at the moment. Light industry, okay, good. And I'm going to go straight into getting those planetary defences up. I kind of regard that as crucial. Now, was this the turn we... Okay, so we've already got 1 turn on the spaceport, 2 turns left. So, where is it? There. Landing station. And I can use these to go through all my colonies, these little arrows. Oh, it should have gone the other way, but anyway. Landing station, and landing station, yep. Okay, so that'll be great. I'll have a nice little trade network there, buffing up the economy. And you can see that transport arrived at Earth, picked up a person, and I'm actually going to send it, I'll unload it. Send it to Edinburgh. Where is it? It's that one. Send it to Edinburgh, and it can, yeah, take people from there from now on. Are there any at Edinburgh? No. And missiles rolling off. Everything's producing. Now, I think I might build another transport. Yeah, we'll start building transports. Just 1. It'll be a couple of turns before I get recon data there, which I might send a colony ship to, but in the meantime I can produce 1 more transport. I'm building more transports now because there's a longer distance between the planets that I want a ferry population, and I've got enough income to support the extra transports. If Edinburgh's producing nearly 2 people per turn, then I'll need a lot of transports to keep it down to 33, and I'm well over that at the moment, so I may even consider bumping up the tax rate in the short term. Yeah, I will, because we've got popularity 2. It can sustain a higher tax rate. Not producing people efficiently, as I said, with Earth in the early game, so we'll get a bit of extra money out of them while we try and get that population down. And what are the tax rates everywhere else? Earth is on normal with spare popularity, so we could bump up Earth as well. Let's do that. Augusta is low, and it's got pollution problems, so that's why that's going to wait a turn. And Edinburgh high, yes, that's right. Mito should be fairly low because of the mine, yeah. So I couldn't quite sustain high taxes there. Okay, that's probably just giving us a little bit of extra income in the short term as well, so anything that helps. Anything that helps you expand faster. Empty transports. Okay, bing. And you can see the trade network's up and running on this turn. So I wasted no maintenance there, which is handy if you can get away with it. You've got to have spare facility slots, you've got to have nothing in the production queue, but yeah, that's a way you can again just squeeze a little bit more out of the economy. Okay, Edinburgh. Now, one population this turn onto the transport, and one next turn, so I'm staggering them a bit. Earth will keep working on the happiness for now. Augusta also working on the happiness. Landing station at Edinburgh, and Edinburgh loves the growth rate, absolutely. Mito loves the happiness and growth rate, and that'll keep everything busy for a little while, at least one more turn. Please let that new explored system be something useful. Crap! This is terrible! This game is so harsh. We've had a few lucky breaks with the trade, so I can't complain too much, but it's annoying that everywhere I expand to is poor, I'll say that much. Comet mining, okay, that's handy. And so now the choices are, I don't know if you can see this, these icons are terrible, so 14 turns, 14, 55, and 14, and 4 for the extreme arc. The amount of turns required to knock the tech over, it's something to keep an eye on. It can influence my decision making a bit. If something takes an insane amount of time, like 55, there's just, you know, it's obviously a very low priority. I can't reinvest the results of that research for a very long time, so. Extreme arcs let us colonize irradiated planets or systems, so that'll be handy. And core mining, we're not even using the second level mining at this stage, so I'll hold off on that. Atmosphere generation, that's used for creating an atmosphere on dead and irradiated planets, just as the tooltip says. I don't know what I was trying to remember, but when it tells me right up front. Anyway, yeah, I'll go for the extreme arc. That's good enough for now. Transport at Augusta, straight up to Edinburgh. And yeah, so what could I gain by colonizing this crappy system? One stepping stone to there. Now in the bigger context, where am I trying to expand to strategically? There's a whole cluster of stars in here. We might need to expand through the Karkar. And I've just noticed the Karkar, the defensive alliance must have been bound to the 20 turn limit as well. I didn't realize that. I thought I'd have to cancel that at some point. Okay, well, that's handy, but also we're not in any sort of non-aggression treaty at the moment either, so they could come and glass one of our planets if they so desired. There's an interesting little cluster of stars up here surrounded by dust. I don't know if we'll be able to expand into there, or maybe there's an alien race in there, that's also possible, but I'll definitely need to colonize that one if I'm to get into here at all in the short term. So, okay, on the horizon we have either expansion up to the north, or a short wall with the Karkar to expand into their territory. So we'll see what happens there. Another transport. Okay, we've got 6 light missiles at Karinsk, so it's safe. Yeah, research lab. Why not? And did I change the mining? Yes, I did. Okay, 1 turn for that, 4 and 13. That's all good. How much extra income did we get from that trade, by the way? A whopping amount. 800. Trade, yeah, 700 trade from trade. So it's a huge amount, but again, it does pale in comparison to tax, even with the high tax rates. But keep in mind also the populations are still pretty low. So that, as you can imagine, as the population goes up, the tax rate, the amount of tax income goes up too. So empty transport Edinburgh. I forgot to move one last turn from Edinburgh. Oh well. And the tachyon scanner's done. The AI is really, the research AI is insisting on tachyon stealth. I've really got no interest in that. I'm sure the AI either cheats or it's providing a minimal advantage as I see it. It makes your ships harder to detect on the star map. That's all it does. I'd rather have the recon data even if it takes twice as long. And I'll need to pick a colony to build one of my scanner arrays on. But yeah, scanner arrays take a facility slot obviously, and they're kind of a precious commodity at this stage of the game. Anyway, one more turn for some production to finish, I think. Karensk. Back to Edinburgh. Another ship from Edinburgh. Transport Augusta. Okay. So I can upgrade the spaceport further, and to the passenger spaceport, and that will allow exporting or importing tourists for this past civilization. So it will further increase trade income, and it will provide happiness to every one of the colonies within the trade route. The question is, will I get enough to justify the extra upkeep? Now the base upkeep is 60 and the increased one is 150, so it's 90 upkeep. I don't know exactly how it calculates, but in the past I've seen tourist trade volumes are quite low, so the economic benefit is not as strong as some of the export commodities, but it does create happiness on every colony, which either allows you to bump up the taxes or do extra mining and so on and so forth. So I'll put that in now and just reap the rewards in due course. Research lab on Karensk. So it's really expensive to develop, but we're starting to get a fair bit of cash now, so this is all good. 2,000 a turn is a whopping amount actually. Yeah, more ships please. And one more turn for that one. Okay. How long until we get recon data there? A while. Okay, so this is the comet mines there again. More unlocked economy, just like the asteroid mines. They don't provide a side benefit where asteroid mines give you reduced ship cost, but the amount they produce is higher, so we'll want to build those eventually. In the short term we can build the asteroid mines. Weather controller. Yeah, so a bit of damage there on the research centre. How's the happiness here? It's down to 1. Okay, so we can put the tax rate back up to normal at least. And that'll be -4. And it'll sustain -4 until we build more happiness, I guess. Should be fine. That provides a lot of tax income though at this place because it's rich. Again, 400 just from going back to normal. So rolling in money now. Edinburgh. What do we want at Edinburgh? Edinburgh's going to be limited to 33, so I actually believe I've only got one more facility slot to play with, and it's there's no. What I'm checking for there is the Oort Cloud and Asteroid Belt. Since there's neither of those, I know I've got I can build the terraformer and weather control off the top of my head. Landing station, one research lab, a construction yard, and I think I have one free slot, and I've used that for the mine. Now the alternatives there would be, yeah, the asteroid mine or the Oort Cloud, or a second research lab. Yeah, so I think when I strip the population of this place down to 33, I won't have any more free slots. I'm sort of working from memory there. I know I did work it out all at one point, but yeah. Augusta, I think we have to wait. Yeah, so at Augusta we've got the weapons lab, and we'll want more shipyards at Augusta, so one free slot at the moment, growing very slowly. I'll just wait at Augusta. And again, I forgot with Edinburgh. Oh well. Extreme Arc. Extreme Arc's done, that's fine. Universal Arc is an option, as is atmospheric generation. What do I really want here? Let's just have a quick look in the list itself. So I've got a lot of research done. Super Diamond reduces the chance of destruction when shields fail. Now, you haven't seen ship combat in this Let's Play so far, but I really don't quite see how this works when you see in combat. Maybe there's... I'll talk about that later, maybe. But in Tronium Forge, yeah, we don't even have any need for that at the moment, so probably just I'll work on better arc ships, maybe see if we can sneak up to the Mother Arc. These three different colony ships here, the Universal Arc allows us to found colonies where there's no planet, and we've only had one of those. But the Mothership allows you to, well, the Mother Arc doesn't consume colony ships, and it also allows us to travel anywhere, so we might work towards that since we seem to be a little bit boxed in. 7 turns for the Universal Arc. And the other one was terraforming. Fantastic. That's really good. So biosphere creation was the one we needed to make happiness at Augusta. I'll work towards that there, I think. Let's just have a check of that one as well. So that was under bio. Okay, so that's the terraforming tree there. That'll be the end of that one. And the other really delicious thing we want is the nano construction complex, which reduces pollution by effectively 2 at advanced worlds, which is 2 happiness. So that's also really good, but we have to go a fair way into that tree there. So I think I will go with biosphere creation in the short term. That should be roughly the same amount of time, even at 40 turns, but yeah, it should be roughly the same amount of time to achieve either result. Another transport. I might ease down on the transports now. How many have we got? We can just go to the finder, and ships is the first one. We've got 10. Yeah, that's not really very many. I'll put a couple more transports in. Yeah. And back to the what happened this turn. Heavy industry at Karensk. Okay. Now you know I've got everything except the hyperspace and the psychic. No no skunkworks yet. Defense, I will start kicking off. The reason I'll put research into defense and weapons is because we can get some better shield technology for the offense ships by doing research here, and also planetary defenses. So there are a few things in the off tech area that you want to research anyway, regardless of which ship type you pick, whether it's the offensive or the defensive ships. You'll also want to do a bit of off-tree research, so weapons for better actual weapons, as well as the ships, or shields for defensive plus the defensive ships. So either way you do it, you'll want to research the weapons and shields probably to make the most of it. 4 more turns for that one. 3 more turns for that one. I'll get that. And yeah, I think everything's okay now. I'll send out another ship to Karensk. Asteroid mines at Earth? Yeah. Okay, so Earth's up to 44 and it's growing at 1.54%. That's nearly 1 person per turn, which is not bad. But we'll need 5 more people to unlock another facility slot to build comet mines. So at this point, I could start shipping new people back from Edinburgh to Earth to get Earth over the to unlock more facility slots, since we can make use of them here. But in the short term, I've got 4 happiness, -2 in popularity. So I can build the mining complex, which will increase pollution by 2. And that'll put us at -5, no, -4, so that'll be safe. More income, cheaper production costs, sure. And I want to do that at Augusta as well, but yeah, again, the pollution, I keep sort of forgetting that just temporarily. Mito's working on the spaceport, and I'll go for the asteroid mine here next. Send those transports back. I don't know, maybe that one wasn't in the loop. Edinburgh. Okay, another one. So Edinburgh will be, yeah, 43. We really need to just keep stripping people off here faster. And 1 more turn for that one. The transport ship is just getting started, so actually I'll cancel that in case I want to switch to a colony ship up here. I'm sort of holding off on the war until we get Destroyer 2s, so I can just get an even more efficient ship as my initial fleet. So Destroyer 2s are defense 18. These numbers don't really mean anything to you, but they're a pretty good representation of how strong a ship is. So defense 12. It can just soak a lot more damage, basically. That'll make a lot more sense once you've seen the combat. Okay, so they're trusting of us and friendly. They're offering another defensive alliance. Now we don't need their money, so they can take their defensive alliance and go home. Cancel. Now I don't think we'll be telling them that. Okay, what do we find? Come on. No planet poor. Are you kidding me? This is a really rough game. Yeah, I'm not even going to colonize that. We'll wait until we get super arcs before we go exploring up there. Alright, so back to Karensk with the scout. Send off another colony ship. No, another transport, I should say. These must have been the ones that came from Earth. Passenger spaceport at Mito. Haha. Right, so on on the income screen here we can see exports. Yeah, okay, so tourism's really small. Alien Relics is huge. I don't know why that's so big, but that's great. And gems is a little bit here and there, so yeah. The tourism doesn't generate a lot of income. I have a feeling it's somehow related to the happiness of the planets it's going to, but I'm not really sure. If anybody can confirm that, please let me know. The happier colonies don't seem to use as much tourism, I think. Anyway, happiness is at -2 here. The asteroid mine was next. And we can bump up the taxes. -4. So as soon as the long-term penalty kicks in, past high taxes, it'll be at -5, so I'll need to drop that back down again. But for now, even though it doesn't look like I need the money, I'm still going to milk it for everything it's worth. And we'll need some happiness at Kerensky, because it'll have a high unhappiness due to the environment. Environment and the pollution from the heavy industry. So yeah, and the frontier spirit will fall off as the population ships in. I'm already at 7 there, so oops, that was Kerensky, sorry. Okay, Augusta, what are you doing? Augusta is waiting for more happiness before we can do much else here in terms of in terms of more income. Now its happiness is it getting happiness from the trade goods? Yes, 2, which is huge. I didn't know it was that big. I thought it was 1 just per each type. Obviously not. Edinburgh is really very satisfied with things that are going on. But I don't want to upgrade the mine complex here again because of the growth. I have spare facility slots, but I'm not going to build anything because as we strip people off, yada yada yada. And how many turns until we get some weapons? 8. Okay, so now I'm going to start building some shipyards at Augusta. So just to point this out here, I've got already 1 shipyard which is small. It can be upgraded to orbital, or I can build a new shipyard by going to that one. And I may even want to build a mine complex just to further reduce the cost of the things and offset that with the lower tax rate. But we'll see. Probably not. That's probably excessive. No. Yeah, we're slowly starting to export more people than it's creating. What's going on in my two here? What fleets are that? Transport. I want to transport there. Okay. Mine complex at Earth. It's all good. And we need 2 more people at Earth before we can get the comet mines. Now, the small orbital shipyard can build the destroyer, but I don't think the surface one can. So yeah, we'll need to upgrade the the surface shipyard to a small orbital. Destroyed mines at Mito. Okay, now how is your happiness again? -4. Okay, with the high taxes. So we could build the mine complex and drop the taxes. That would harm the growth rate, and it would produce only an extra 2, so 200 for that one and 100 base. So it's only going to produce an extra 100 income for 2 happiness. And putting that in perspective with the taxes, 2 happiness in the short term, 4 happiness in the long term. Difference is a bit over 200. So let's leave it on high taxes. That's a pretty straightforward equation. How much extra income do you get for the happiness cost? It's just that easy. Okay, now we'll just keep going for the moment. Another transport. Yep. So you can imagine Corinth is going to be getting a new person per turn, so its population is going to zoom up. But the growth rate on this world will be low because it's an ice world with 0 habitability, whereas the other ones at least have 2. So its base growth rate is 0%. Which I'll just show you by going in here. It's supposed to be 0%, at least in my mind. Ah yeah, the weather control's boosting it up. So yeah, the weather control will get some growth, but it's practically got none. And it'll really fall off quickly as the amount of people on there pushes the population pressure modifier down. Anyway, let's keep going. Edinburgh. I can see that there's no line leaving Edinburgh for. I mean, I can see the trail from that ship moving out, but there's no new navigation line there, so that's kind of how I'm telling if there's already a ship departing like that. 4 ships arrived at Karensk. Now that's a dirty lie. That was only 1, but it somehow confused the scout with the corvettes. That's alright. Nothing to worry about. Universal Arc's done. Straight onto the Mother Arc. It's 28 turns, so we're in no hurry, but we'll get that one finished off. And how many more turns for the destroyers? 4. Okay, nearly there. Can I build another shipyard? I can. So I'll put that straight in the queue. Yeah. Flare damage at Augusta. Edinburgh, how are you doing for population? 42. It's almost sustaining it. It's, yeah, great growth there, obviously. Orbital shipyard, okay, that's 2. These bloody flares are annoying. It's going to be disruptive for the ship production too, but oh well. Okay, enough with the flares already. It's disrupting the trade now. But yeah, so you can see the income. It's just zooming up there. And I'll just check on the tax rates. We'll be starting to get the past high taxes by now, I'd say. Yeah, 1. So popularity 5. Now I should just find that easier to manage by looking here. And I can see that icon. So I can just drop the tax rate there by doing that. And that will do for now. And once again, I think we'll call this episode a wrap.